Hey everybody, Cynthia here. I did say I would come back and share with you a tutorial on how to make this 6x6 back to school teacher survival kit box. Pardon me. That I showed in a video yesterday. Real quick, the back to school prayer comes from www.thiscraftymom.com blog, and I did originally find it on Pinterest, but I found it on the blog. It's a free printable, so I'm going to post the link below to this actual printable so that you can, if you want to use it for your survival kit. Now, I sized my prayer in Word processor on my computer. So I put the prayer in Word and I sized it down to 4x4. Okay, so let's get started on creating the box. Okay, so for the bottom of your box, let me get everything organized here. I'm so sorry. For the bottom of your box, you're going to need a sheet of cardstock that measures 12 by 12. Okay, so let's put it in our scoreboard here. And you're going to score it at 3 inches. So 3 inches on all 4 sides. 3 inches. Flip it. 3 inches. And again at 3 inches. And I'm going to do the lid real quick and then put the scoreboard away, and then we'll put this together. Okay. So for the lid, the actual lid, I'm going to keep those together for our mats. The lid measurements are 8 1/16 by 8 1/16, and you're going to go ahead and score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. 1 inch, flip it around, 1 inch, flip it around, and 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid aside for now. We're going to assemble the bottom of our box. Okay, so let's fold up our score lines. You know, on Pinterest as well, when I was looking for the teacher survival kit, if you work at a school like I do, they have principal survival kits, like for back to school, and vice principal. They have secretaries. They have all kinds of professions, actually. That I saw nurses, all kinds of stuff. So you definitely want to head on over and check out Pinterest for this stuff. It's so inspirational. Okay, once you have your score lines folded, we're going to cut on the bottom score line to meet up with this one. Just don't cut past it. So just trim straight up, and then we created this flap. Now I'm going to cut a little piece off. I'm going to angle it of that actual flap. Okay, so I just cut a little sliver out, and that way when we fold up our box, it just enables for this end to be flush with this end, and that ensures you nothing will stick out. Okay, so we're going to do that again to this side. Cut straight up on that score line to meet your next score line. And then just take a little angle piece out of that flap. So it should look like this. You should have 2 small flaps and then your large flap, which is actually the side of your box. So I'm going to turn it around to the opposite side, and I'm going to do the same thing. Cut up on that score line to meet the next one, and then take a little angle piece off that flap. Cut up on this score line to meet the next one, and then take a little angle piece out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the inside of our box. I'm going to flip it around, and this is the outside. So for my bottom mat here, for the bottom of my box, this mat measures 5 7/8, excuse my arm, by 5 7/8. And I'm just going to add some liquid glue. I think I have a little thing stuck in there. Hold on one second. I like to put my mats on before I assemble the box. It's just a little bit easier for me. But you could also do it after you assemble. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to try and center it on the bottom as best I can. And run my bone folder over it so I don't have any glue sticking out. You guys could use any adhesive you'd like. A glue stick would work just fine. Double-sided tape, whatever you prefer. Okay, so I have ABC paper for the sides of my box. I don't want to put it on so that the ABCs are facing me, or actually I do, because you want to make sure when you fold your box up, it's facing the right way. So if you have printed paper like I do, just make sure you're putting it on so that it's facing the right way and not upside down. So in order to do that, you pretty much have to put your papers on, like this section here, facing the opposite way. And that way when you fold it, it's facing the right way. So I usually place my papers on first, but you do it however you feel. The measurements for these are 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. I've already made boxes, and I didn't take, the way the print was facing into consideration, and I got everything glued. And when I went to put it together, I saw my mistake, and I was so mad. I think I was actually cussing that day. Words were flying, my friends. So if I can make mistakes and then help you guys not to make them, I'm glad to make the mistake, I guess. And I had no other paper like it, the one I was using. I think I was doing this one year for Halloween or something. I don't know. And I was super, super irritated. Speaking of Halloween, I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of one of the videos I have coming up. It's a candy corn treat box. And also, I'm kind of obsessed with to-go cups. And one year for the Jingle Jangle in July series, or was it Jingle Jangle for Christmas, I made a to-go cup greeting card. And then the other day, I found this to-go cup Frankie. I think it's a tag or an embellishment. And I was like, oh my gosh, he is so cute. So it totally inspired me to make a to-go cup Frankie card, greeting card. And so I have that one coming up. And it's pretty much going to be the same measurements we did at Christmas time. for the actual card base and the envelope. It's just some of the front mats and stuff will be a little different, but yeah. I love Frankie, Frankenstein's, mummies, tombstones, you know, all kinds of stuff for Halloween. Okay, so we're going to add glue to these side flaps. And we're just going to pull the side of our box to meet up with the flap. Make sure it's flush on top and that you're meeting with the sides. And run your bone folder. Again, this little tab here. It's not so little, but smaller than the others. Just going to pull it up to meet with this side and press down. And then we have these two flaps left. So I think I'm going to add glue to both of them at the same time. If you are using liquid glue, make sure you don't use a whole lot, because it could actually, if you overdo it with the liquid glue, you could warp your paper. So that's just another little tip. Okay, and then I'll push down with my bone folder. And that is the bottom of our box. Now I have washi tape that I could run over this like I did with the other, but I want to make sure I get this done first just to see what it looks like. So we're going to set the bottom of our box aside. We're going to start assembling the lid. And we're going to do this much the same way. Fold up our score lines. Years ago I did a 6x6 box with similar mat sizes, but the lid was a little loose, and you know, I was just starting out learning how to do my own measurements, and so then a little while ago I did one with a tighter lid, and that's why I felt like it would be a good idea to maybe do another tutorial. Okay, so we're going to cut up on the score line to meet up with this one. Just don't cut over. And then again on that little tab, I'm just going to take a little kind of triangle sliver piece out. So it should look like that. I'm going to do it to this side as well. You don't have to do this, but from experience, when I put boxes together, when I didn't do it, sometimes the little tab would kind of stick out a little bit like that. So if you do that, it just helps you to keep it more flush, so you don't have those little stick up pieces. Take that little tab out, go across, and take that out. Okay. Gonna flip it over. Now I did my boxes two different ways. If you want it just with a simple one mat behind it, this mat measures 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. The black cardstock here behind my prayer measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then the prayer I sized it down to 4 by 4. We're going to be making this box that has the extra mat in the back. Okay, so I'll actually leave that here so we can look at it. All right. For this mat here, this is our first mat. That measures 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. if you guys hear like a little chirping sound, it's actually somebody's car alarm going beep, 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 beep. I think they're having issues with it because it was doing it yesterday too. So, okay, so that's our first mat. Then our side mats on the side panels here, those all measure 5 7/8 by 7/8. And then, like I said, just make sure your pattern is going the right way, because once this is on, these flaps come down. So for this paper, it doesn't really matter because my objects are going all kinds of ways. But if you had lettering, you'd want to make sure it was facing properly. So just make sure you check that out. Thinking I'm a little behind on my Halloween videos too, my Halloween series, so probably end up doing 2 of those today, just so I can get caught up a little, because I like to do 1 video a week for 13 weeks, and I got a bit behind. The past few weeks have been really, really crazy in our family. A lot of family things, a lot of health issues, and so yeah, I just have to play catch up. It happens. Life happens, right, guys? Okay, one more piece here. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe and healthy out there. It's back to school time. Not only is it hectic for school employees, but it's hectic for anybody trying to get to work. I find myself having to leave a lot earlier than I normally had to because of all the, school buses running out there. Okay, so we have this bottom mat. Now for this second mat, the blue mat behind here, I measured that one out to be 5 by 5. You don't have to add this extra mat, but I know I did my boxes 2 different ways, so I thought I would share that with you as well. And I'm just trying to center that a little bit. And then, of course, my black mat is going to go on there. And that one, again, measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then my prayer, back to school prayer and treat poem, will go right on top of that. I have not printed out another one for this video, so let's just pretend it's on there. We're going to flip it around, and we're going to add adhesive to our 4 little flaps, and we're going to put that together. And I am going to link below not only the free printable, but I'm also going to link the pencil die once again, in case you guys want to know where I got that from. I did buy it from eBay, and there's not a whole left, but I'm sure, if you have a pencil stamp, or you can make any kind of tag you want, really. But I know I get a lot of questions sometimes, where'd you get that die, or I love that stamp, so I try, if I can, to link things below. Not that I'm affiliated with them and companies in any way. Okay, just bring that flap right up to meet that side one to create your lid. And that's it. Voila. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to run washi tape around here. Maybe. Whoop. Maybe the ruler one would look cute. Or apples, I'm not sure. Or I could do both. Because I know this one I did the apples and the ruler. Yeah, that might look kind of cute. I think I'm going to go ahead and run the apples. Now what I did, because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes washi tape tends to come back up, especially I live in southern Florida, and the humidity here sometimes lifts up the washi tape after it's been on for a little while, depending on how good the adhesive is on the washi tape. So in the end, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, and that's going to make sure it keeps it from lifting. And just tear a piece off, and then I did add a little tiny bit of liquid glue to the end, and just lay that on there. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I love washi tape for this reason. It's so easy, and it just adds a little extra to your project. Whoop. Make sure it's adhered down, girl. Okay. And I don't have an exact measurement for the twine that I used, but I can run some twine around this and give you a measurement really quick. Okay, so that's our box with the washi tape, and then I took some twine and I just put it around this way, and then I kind of flipped it around and pulled it tight, because you're going to be putting a lot of goodies in here. You want the lid to stay on. And then I put my tag on and then created a bow, and so that you don't waste any trim, I'm going to give you an exact measurement for this ribbon right here. So let me take it apart. And I'll let you know how many inches I cut. Okay. Looks like almost 48 inches. So let me triple this up. Yeah, a little over 48 inches I used of twine. But if you just tie it around like I did and pull on it, you don't have to waste so much twine. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have fun making yours. You can do it for any theme, of course. And if you have any questions, let me know. Take care and happy crafting.